mindful contemplation,
Yeah.
where you ask yourself, so what is real?
Mm.
Okay? But to find what is real, first we must be able to define what do we mean by real. Okay? So what is real? What do you mean by real? And it's not a straightforward question, but it's very important. If you're looking for the truth must be real. So what is that which we are defining as real? What could be real? Or what could be truth? What must be the conditions that reality must satisfy versus unreality? That's what you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
What must be true about reality and not true about unreality? So can you take an example?
As we discussed before, like something which is always first is verifiable,
Okay.
which I can verify, and second which never change, which remain as it is.
So this is very good. So when we look for the truth, then I said that if we say the truth is that the fan is on, you see, yeah, then that is not the truth that we are talking about. The truth that we are talking about is the unchanging truth, because we are moving from this realm of instability, constant change, into that which is stability. You see, so if you're pursuing something, we are pursuing eternal happiness, isn't it? So we are tired of the ephemeral or the changing. So the truth, when it is spoken spiritually, we are talking about that which is the unchanging. You see? So to find that which is unchanging, does not come and go, is that which we are looking for. Now we can say, okay, God is the unchanging truth. You see? We can just say a statement like that and say, okay, God is the unchanging truth. You see? But is it still the truth? It still remains only conceptually, you see. So it must be verifiable. See? When I say verifiable means it only helps us if we are able to check for ourselves that this is true or not. See? It is, if I say on Venus they found a water body with fish in it, you see, and it won't help because it is not verifiable. It is not your experience. It is just a concept that you heard. So what is happening in satsang is that you're hearing some concept from a credible source, which you can have some trust or faith or devotion in. But the point of that trust and faith and devotion is so that we can check for ourselves whether this is true or not. You see? So that is the truth that we are looking for. So you said, like you said, unchanging and directly verifiable. That is what we are looking for. Then when we are looking for reality, if you apply these two filters, then what remains? This is the point, you see. So if you apply these two filters, which is that which remains unchanging and that which is directly experienced, then what can we say about the truth? We can go layer by layer. Outward realm, changing, so discarded. Then body, discarded. Inner sensation, emotion, pain, pleasure, these sensations also changing, kept aside. Thoughts coming and going, changing, left aside. Then where do we come? Then where do we come? After we look through all of this, what is there? What is it that remains then?
It is feeling of existence.
Sense of existence. Very good.
Mm.
This one, is it our experience that this also comes and goes.
Yeah, sleep.
So ultimately, even this in our experience also comes and goes. So what now remains, which we can call the unchanging and verifiable truth? Is there something that didn't change or doesn't ever change? That which is permanent.
But for the verifying of awake and like I exist. So for talking about is like consciousness aware of itself. Not
So
like
let's look at this. And this was the contemplation I posted in the group also. That which knows of your existence, who is that one? Because before this you said that even the sense of existence comes and goes. Is that your living experience? Yes. So when the sense of existence goes, what knows it? What knows it has gone?
sitting around it, that's why I'm verifying it.
Yes. This I, is it a changing I or the unchanging I?
I'm changing.
So now this I, does it meet our criteria for reality or the truth? You say it is unchanging. Second is whether it is verifiable. So is it verifiable? Is it your direct experience or no? Yes. So if it is unchanging and it is direct experience, then this has met your criteria for what is true. Does anything else meet it? No. So if this is seen to be true and seen to be the one constant, unchanging, directly verifiable I, and everything else is changing or just conceptual, then at least according to this definition, we can say that this is the truth. Everything else is false, at least according to our definitions, isn't it? This is the meaning of coming to the truth of who we are, coming to the recognition of the true self. So once we see the distinction between true and untrue, reality and false, which is called Vairagya, Viveka, the ability to discern or distinguish between what is true and what is false, then what does it make sense to do? Should I now be interested or attached to that which is changing or to the unchanging? Whether we are able to do it or not will come to later.
Okay.
Little further. This one, yeah, like this. Maybe this one. Yeah. You see? So we'll come later to whether we are able to do it or not. But just using logic itself, does it make sense to be attached to that which is constantly changing or to that which is unchanging?
But attachment comes only when you are wrongly identifying you with something which you are not.
Yes. Yes. So that which you are not, is that the changing one or the unchanging one?
Which I am not is always changing.
Yes. So attachment, you say, means only being attached to that which I am not. Then attachment itself seems logical to drop, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the dropping of conditioning, the dropping of these conditions or tendencies is the dropping of attachment. And we have the master key for that, because we see that once we've inquired into who we are, then we see that the only way to give rise to conditioning or tendencies is to nurture these thoughts and concepts with my belief. Therefore, to remain unattached, all I need to do is not give them my belief. Because it is not real, it is not the truth. That's why I often said that it is only the false which needs our belief.